Today I'm going to show you all my little plates that came out of the kiln, but I'm also going to show you an alternate way of making these little plates if you don't have access to a pottery studio or a kiln. There's other ways you can do it, you guys. So this is Easy Mold silicone putty. It's a two-part silicone putty to use to make molds. I got this at Michael's craft store here in Canada, but you can get it online on Amazon. So it's a two-part silicone putty, and you have to use equal parts of both. Unfortunately, you know, these, when you buy this, it always comes only half full. They're really cheap with how much they give you. It does work very well, but you got to make sure that it's completely mixed before you use it to make a mold. So a mold was made by my friend Natasha, actually made this mold for me. And so you make it into a round shape and then squish your little plate, whatever plate that you happen to have. And voila, there is the mold. So it takes probably about a half an hour to completely dry. And then you can go ahead and start making little plates. Now, of course, I made my plates out of clay that could be fired, but there's nothing preventing you from making these plates out of air dry clay, or you could use Fimo or polymer clay. So I'm just showing you an example of what it looks like. So now this clay is still really super wet, so I'm taking it out earlier than I should, but I'm doing it for example only. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the mold. And as you can see, my mold's a little dirty because that clay was really wet. So that's what the plate looks like. Unfortunately, it cracked a little bit when I took it out. That's just because the clay is so wet. And then you've got to trim the plate all the way around the edge of the plate. I'll show you what a trimmed one looks like. So there it is, untrimmed. And this is what it looks like once it's trimmed. So just go around the entire edge of the plate and trim it off nice, and don't forget to shape it nicely on the back. So you can see here I made a nice flat spot so that the plate will sit level on the little surface. And so you go all the way around that edge and trim it so it looks like that one. And voila. So I'm now going to show you all the plates that just came out of the kiln for me. And I'm really quite pleased with how they turned out. They're all completely unique and different, and yeah, I'm just absolutely tickled with them. This one here is my little guy, Jimmy Page. He's my parrot. For those of you that are new to my channel, I have a little parrot that's blue. And this plate definitely is my favorite out of all the plates that I made. So it's got a nice moody feel to it. I think it turned out really good. So I had painted these plates before they were fired the first time with underglaze, and then they became bisque, and then I covered them with a clear glaze, and they were fired a second time to get that nice shiny surface. But I mean, you could paint, if you were doing paper clay, you could paint these with acrylic paint and then just go over them with some high gloss Mod Podge, and you'd probably get pretty close to the same effect. This one here has little butterflies on it. I made a couple Christmas plates as well. So this one has a little Christmas tree with a little star on the top. What else do I have here? Oh yeah, this one here, I used a dark teal for the background. So it's kind of hard to see, but in person it's really pretty. And here's my other Christmas plate that I painted with a little Santa Claus on it. I think he turned out kind of cute. And I've got Oh yeah, this one here is a gray background with kind of a fall tree that I just kind of splattered different colors on to represent fall leaves. And this one's kind of interesting. It's the sky with the sun, and you can see I've got some birds that are flying. So the clay that I use for doing this is reclaimed clay, so it has some speckles in it. The next ones that I did, actually, I used a whiter clay, a 370, so I won't get as much speckle effect in it. And this one here I think turned out particularly well. So that's teal, and then I kind of painted some birch trees on it. I thought that one turned out pretty cute. That one I definitely want to hang up on the wall in one of my doll houses. And then I made this little spider web one, which shall be a gift for my friend that likes to do Halloween houses. And yeah, this little plate I just kind of used with the extra paint that was on the table. And that one here, I'm actually shocked at how much I actually like it. I'm going to redo those and make four of them, but instead of having blue in the centers, I'm going to do it with orange. So it'll be red and orange and black, and I think that'll look perfect in my Trang house. And then here's another one with the birch trees with probably a little bit better background. They're a little bit easier to see. I'm quite happy. And once again, oh, I like this plate. I'm so happy with this little plate. I think it's good. So now you'll be able to see them all together. I did 19 of them in total, so I'm quite pleased. I plan on building a miniature room box, and I want to put a little pottery studio in it and put some shelves up so that it looks like I have a little tiny pottery studio that's for sale. Got pottery for sale. I think that'd be a cute idea. And okay, so I just want to show you. This is what a plate looks like that comes out of the mold. Now I'm going to show you some plates that I did on the wheel. And I'm not great at the wheel yet, so you can see that my stuff is still a little bit on the wonky side. And you see how the bottom isn't quite right? So they're more like dishes. This one here is probably the closest one to perfection, but unfortunately it cracked. And yeah, that one there, if I would have trimmed off the bottom a little bit better, it would have been closer, but it's still too deep of a dish, so it's closer to being a bowl than a plate. I also made a mold of this little porcelain dog that I've had for a number of years, and I thought that he would be kind of cute. It is really hard to get the clay out of the mold, though, so I would say one out of every two puppies that I put in that mold come out whole. But I did manage to get three. I've actually got two more that are going to be fired right away. So, and you can see here, they turned out pretty good. Not bad at all. So again, I painted them in underglaze on top of the wet clay, and then they were fired, and then I fired them a second time with clear glaze. And you can see, I don't know if it's really all that noticeable in the video, but the ones that I made compared to the originals are probably about, I would say, 20% smaller. So they're a little tinier. So I'm actually quite pleased. This puppy is a personal favorite of mine. So I kind of like the fact that now I have a whole litter of them. And you never have enough animals for doll houses. I like every room to have a pet in it. So then maybe I won't have to put chickens and lambs in my bedrooms. I have chickens in my GB dollhouse kitchen because I didn't have a kitten or a puppy to put in there. So the only way to do these molds, though, is you definitely have to have one that doesn't have legs that are standing up, because otherwise you would need to create a two-part mold, which, yeah, I don't know if I'm able to do that. Not quite yet. Certainly not with that mold making material. And then there you go. There's my dishes. So, Yeah, I'm really disappointed that a couple of them cracked in the center. And you can see that cracked right through the middle. So these are bowls. So these aren't the same ones that I showed you earlier. So I had two pieces that actually cracked. So, and then I made these vases. I kind of like that one that's kind of dips down in the front. I think it would be nice to put a floral arrangement in it. And the one that I'm particularly pleased with is this little tiny one on the right. So that, I don't know how I fluked that off. That's a perfect 1/48 scale planter pot. And it's good. It's really good. It's good quality. So that might be the highlight of this entire kiln load. I mean, I fluked that one off, that's for sure. And as you can see, I'm getting better with my vases. And this is like two different colors of glaze. I really like those glazes together. The nice soft green with the denim blue. It's quite pretty. So just kind of wanted to experiment and not do everything with underglaze and clear over top of it. So yeah, that's quite nice. I like that. And this one here I did in kind of an oatmeal color with the green, and I thought that was kind of pretty. And as I say, you know, my stuff that comes off the wheel is still a little bit on the wonky side, but I am getting better at it. I did make some coffee mugs this week. It'll probably take about 3 weeks to get them back once they've been glazed. They haven't even been fired once yet. And but you know, practice makes perfect. I mean, it's really not easy to do. I'd say for every for every one piece that you make on the wheel, you probably chuck one out. But thankfully, I'm not wasting too much clay because, as you can see, the pieces are pretty darn tiny. So this one here, I like the way the glaze looks on that. It's not a particularly great vase, but the glaze is beautiful. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Lisa Dobo. I'd like to thank everyone that has helped support my channel by going to buymeacoffee.com. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing because it really does help my channel out. Please hit that notification bell and double check to make sure that you have hit it, because sometimes it does go away, unfortunately. And please hit that like button and tell your friends about my videos. Thanks again for visiting with me today and watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can create some plates for yourself. And once again, have the best day ever, guys.